Today we're going to be showing you how an air rifle works, and we have this particular one apart because yesterday we were shooting and we noticed that the pellet wasn't moving down the barrel, and you could actually hear the air escape from somewhere. So we took it apart to see if we can figure out if there's an air leak or what's wrong with it, see what we can do. This particular air rifle is a Czech-made CZ630. Always remember, safety should be your #1 priority when shooting air rifles. Always point it in a known direction and make sure your target is intended. So here we have it already torn down, and I'll just go over the parts. I'll just show you everything for now. So there's the wooden receiver, trigger guard. That's the or the elbow of the cocking mechanism. I'm not sure what exactly that's called, but that goes on the other side so it can slide. So as you know, you have to break the barrel. This is a break barrel air rifle. It slides in there. I guess it protects the wood from the inside. And screws to hold it. Barrel iron sight. It's kind of old, this one. That's where the elbow goes for that part that I just showed you up here. That's where it breaks. You can see I'm filming this on a iPhone 11 Pro Max. Got all sorts of cameras on it. This is the, I'm not sure what there's a specific name for it, but the piston goes in here. That's where the spring goes in, and this is the trigger mechanism. And this particular model, when you cock it, the safety, so this little piece on the end here actually comes out every time you cock it and engages the safety. There's the trigger and pin, spring for the trigger. And this is part of the spring and piston. In here, so what happens is the spring goes in the piston, and this open part here is where this part pushes it down and locks it into the trigger. So we suspect that the plunger part is where the issue is. We have a leak somewhere in there because it's simply not pushing the pellet down the barrel. And the spring actually goes inside here. The spring is here. And we'll put it together and test it after. And this piece goes inside the spring, and the spring goes again inside the piston. So here we have the barrel broken. So somewhere in here there's a leak. It's just simply not pushing. So air comes through here, the piston plunges air through there, and then it goes the pellet goes in here. And you can see the seal looks fine. Still a little bit oiled, but we can put a little more oil on it. And then it goes through here. See if I can... Barrel is rifled. Yes, I did check if the barrel was clean. So you can see right through it. Let's start putting it together as we clean the parts. So, like I mentioned, the parts fit into each other. The spring goes into the piston. I cleaned it up, put a little bit of oil inside. And the plunger part, piston part there is quite dirty. But I don't see why it would not create that seal to push the pellet through the barrel. And this part right here is going to fit into here. And we'll grease it up, put it inside, and I'll show you that in a minute. That's the inside where the piston's going to go. It's quite dirty, it's probably just grease. And like I said, we're going to stick the piston part all nice and clean in there, and hopefully that is going to make a difference. So there's the trigger, and I guess this is the trigger assembly. I'm not sure what exactly you would call it. Trigger goes in right there, and then goes right in here. It screws right into here, as you can see. And we put the spring in. Gave it some nice grease. And that's, you can see where the arm is when you cock it. It actually slides and pushes this piece. When you cock it, you can see as you push it down, the arm here pushes the piston back and locks it for the trigger to release it. And one thing I'm going to show you next is there's actually another piece up front here where that's spring loaded, and the barrel part also has another spring loaded catch where it locks into place where it can break. So again, it's just like that. Iron sights. Let's put her up. So got it in, and as you can see here, I actually used the screw for the trigger guard to help turn it. In case you're wondering how you can do it, very simple. Use the parts that it came with, because as you turn it, it actually creates a little bit of tension on the spring, which makes it a little more difficult to put in. So that just makes it easier to twist in. So we'll put the trigger back together, and then a few more things before we finally put her back up. And here I just need to show you, when you cock it and the safety gets engaged, you can see the little white indicating that the safety automatically engages every time you cock it. And you just simply push it in before you're ready to fire to disengage the safety. Finally got the spring in. It was a little tricky. Managed to get it in, then we just need to put the locking pin in place. The part on the right there was the tricky part. It actually slides up. You put the two halves together and just push it back in. Real simple, actually. If you think of it, you just got to get it in. And then next we're going to put the pin in place and put her all back up. So with the pin in, I'll just show you something real quick. Safety is engaged. You see the trigger, and if we try to move it, it's not going to go. But if we disengage the safety, ready to fire, you can see now that the trigger can move. So that's the wood stock. It's going to go right in there, and showed you the little metal piece there. So this piece here is going to fit back in here, and we're going to put her back up now. And finally, it's back together. We're going to do a test shot, see how it works. Again, CZ630, made in the Czech Republic. Now that it's all together, we're going to test fire it in a barrel of water. And it came with these two types of, one's flat and one's rounded. We're going to shoot it, see if it actually works. And we're going to try to do a slow-mo. Got my fingers crossed here in a barrel of water. Let's see what happens when we try. Here we got the pellet loaded up. It's inside. Seal has a little bit of oil on it, which it needs to help keep that seal. Get the maximum air to push through. Now we're going to shoot it in the bucket.